Hello, this video is a very specific example that was posted on the RapidMiner community, but in the use case applies in many situations. A lot of times, some report files or data files have a structure like this, where the first few rows are some sort of header information, and the actual data set starts at an offset later on. And you really want to use these header rows as columns themselves. So we're going to show how to do this in RapidMiner. We're going to take a two-phase approach. In the first phase, I'm going to get the header itself, and since each of the header appears in one row, I'm going to convert it later on to be available over as one column each. And then later on we'll get the actual data itself, and then we'll merge the header columns with the actual data sets itself. So let's see how that is done using RapidMiner. My first operator is obviously read CSV file. In this case, I'm going to follow the configuration wizard. We'll hit next after selecting the file location, and I'll stay with tab. Looks like it's doing the right job. And at this point again, I'm focusing on the first part, which is the header. We'll hit next here. I will use all the rows and columns that have appeared so far, and another next here. But at this point, since I am focusing on the headers, I can safely ignore 3 and 4 column here, and that should do the trick. I've put in a breakpoint at this step so I can see what the output looks like. So you'll notice here now each of my header information is here, the value is in ATT1, and the header name itself is ATT2. And I have some extra rows here which I want to get rid of. So to do that, I'm going to use a filter example range. I will keep only rows between 1 and 6, thereby dropping off the additional rows that are at the bottom. Now let's look at what that looks like. In this case, obviously I have the header and the value, but I would really want it to be columns, where our aircraft registration becomes a column and the value ABC is the actual cell value. Noise number is a new column and XYZ is a cell column. So to do that, I'm going to use the RapidMiner transpose operator, and for the transpose to work, I have to tell RapidMiner which is my ID column so that it can convert that to as the column headers. So to do that, I use the set role operator, and I say ATT2 is my ID, and then a simple transpose operator. The output of these two steps looks something like this. Now we are close to what we really wanted here. Obviously I have one column here, ID, which RapidMiner adds. I can get rid of that using the select attributes operator. I've selected a single value or a single column, ID, and I say invert selection so that it drops off the column. And the ID column is also of the type ID, so I say include special attributes so that it can be considered during application of this logic. So now the output of this steps looks something like this, where I have the values, the header names here, and I have dropped the ID column. So it looks like my header information is in the right shape. Now on the second side, I am going to get the actual data. We'll do the same. We'll use the read CSV operator and follow the configuration wizard. And at this point, I'm going to mark the header rows as comments because I want RapidMiner to ignore them when bringing in the data. So one more time next, and at this point we're going to get all the data that is beyond the initial comment rows. Hit finish. The output of this step would look something like this. Let's put a breakpoint here. So this is the actual data. You see the additional headers are lost. We don't really need them. We have in the right format from the previous step. And then I basically do a simple join. In this case, my actual data is coming from the right side, so I am going to do a right join. And because I need to repeat each of these rows, the header rows, across all the headers in the actual data, I'm not going to specify any ID. There's no attributes that to be used as key. We'll run the play, and this is what my data looks like. Now the date column and the other columns may have the wrong data type, so you may have to do additional steps to take care of those. But hopefully this helps you getting close to the shape and form your data should be in for your further works. So thank you, and hopefully this video helps you.